Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a quick review of Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, which came out in the UK on the 28th of April. Today's the 29th of April. Now, this is going to be a non-spoiler review, and there's going to be possibly a spoiler review coming tomorrow with my co-reviewer, The Co. So we're going to look forward to doing that one later with more detail. This one I'm just going to quickly talk about what I thought about it. I really liked this film. I thought it was funnier than the first one, and I did think that the first one was pretty funny, but this one had some just killer humour to it. I'm not the kind of person that laughs out loud at films. I kind of think when people do, I kind of usually find it a bit over the top when someone laughs out loud at a film. But this one I found myself doing it, so that's kind of a testament, really. Dave Bautista in this one as Drax the Destroyer just absolutely nails it as well. And he was good in the first one, but in this one he really found his kind of role. It's like when he laughs, you laugh, you know. I mean, you've probably seen in the trailer the bit where Peter Quill is having his kind of emotions read by the Mantis character, and Drax the Destroyer is just like kind of, ha! You must be so embarrassed. She just told everybody your deepest, darkest desires. And there's lots of bits like that in this film from him. So that to me really kind of, I thought it was just for that alone, it was great. But there was some really other good stuff as well. The whole Rocket Raccoon thing, and this kind of applies to the first film, but even more so in the second one. That's having a CG character like that who has a physical presence, bearing in mind it's a CGI character, is something that can massively backfire in a film. But in this, they did such a good job. The motion capture that James Gunn's brother did, and also obviously Bradley Cooper voice acting as well, it's just a really good kind of combination. He really managed to get it right. So that, again, that's another kind of thing. And same with Groot, to be honest, as well. Obviously a different incarnation in this one because he's only a little one, but very well done in terms of CGI aspect of it, and really genuinely funny as well. I think we're in a pretty good era now where they can have CGI characters in this in kind of real life, well, you know, full motion kind of movies that don't look like Jar Jar Binks, basically, that kind of like cringingly bad effect that we had from years ago. It's the same with like Men in Black as well. It was another one where they had the one of the alien characters that was in it, and it just looked pretty awful. Even at the time, it looked pretty bad. So the visuals in this are quite good, and a lot of the visuals are actually the characters themselves. Kurt Russell in this film I thought was really great as well. Obviously, it's not a spoiler because it's in the trailer, so I don't count this as a spoiler. He plays Peter Quill's father. There's more to that character than they let on in some of the promotional stuff. I'm not going to go any further than to say that, but it wasn't disappointing. And as a Kurt Russell fan, as a long-time Kurt Russell fan, going back to my childhood, I was really pleased to see him in this. It was another great performance. Kurt Russell's such a good actor. I mean, how can he be in films like Overboard and be in films like that in such great comedy, kind of like down to earth, in comparison to roles like this, anyway. Also with characters like Snake Plissken in like Escape from New York, and also in films like this, and he really kind of brings just acting to a whole another level. So that was another positive on this. Obviously there's a few of the cameos and things. I mean, like Sylvester Stallone is in the film. I wouldn't really call that a cameo. He was in it enough to say, you know, it kind of features him, but he wasn't in a huge amount. And I kind of get the impression from this, and it's not a spoiler, but I get the impression from this that they're kind of going to do something with him in a future movie. There's a couple of scenes in this with him where it introduced other actors that I recognise from the things. I'm not going to name names because I would consider that a spoiler. There's a suggestion that they're going to go somewhere with another franchise that is kind of like part of this universe that we haven't seen yet, or hasn't been announced yet anyway. So we'll see where that's going. I'm being a bit vague now, sorry. So now the plot of the film, similar to well, it's not a similar plot to the first one, but it's a similar kind of structure to the first one. I personally prefer it, the plot of this one to the first one. The first one was still very good, but I think this one was a lot better. I've heard a lot of reviews that I respect say differently to that, like Jeremy Jans didn't really rate this film very highly. I disagree, it's all subjective, there's no right or wrong, but I really enjoyed this anyway. So happy times with the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they just knock them out of the park. Now, I will say this isn't a spoiler. You all know that there are post-credit sequences after this. I'm just going to tell you how many there are. There are 5. I mean, usually we get maybe 1, maybe 2, but in this one there were 5. So, I mean, a lot of them are mid-credits, and there's one right at the end as well. And they're all great as well. They weren't just kind of doing it for the sake of doing it. Well, maybe they were, but they were all great. All 5 of them were really good. So stay after the credits, guys. It's definitely worth it, because it's always the same in these Marvel films. You see people leaving. It's like, is this the first one you've seen? Are you really that uninterested that you would leave before the end of the credits? Just as a kind of a sad person that I am, it kind of annoys me to see people do that, because you're really kind of missing out there. But anyway, like I said, there's going to be another review coming up tomorrow with a bit more information. So this is my initial review, my thoughts about it, my feelings about the film, without getting into too many specifics. So I recommend this film. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Go with your friends, because you'll have a really good time. There were like 9 of us that went to see this, and we all enjoyed it. So yeah, like I said, good times for Marvel Cinematic Universe. Looking forward to the next ones that are coming out. This is the first year that we're going to get 3 Marvel Cinematic Universe films in a year, and it's the first of many to come. From what I understand, 3 films a year is going to become the new standard thing from them. So you're going to be getting one pretty much sort of springtime, so like now, summertime, so sort of June, July, August time. July this year we get not the Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man Homecoming. And then one later in the year around Halloween time, sort of October, November time, you get a film then. And for us this year, it's going to be Thor Ragnarok. So I'm really looking forward to those as well. So I'm going to leave it there. And so yeah, check back Brandix Reviews, because we're going to have hopefully another spoiler review actually coming up maybe tomorrow. So check back for that. And I will say see you next time. Thank you very much.